We've looked at choosing a bank account and also at the various types of interest, so simple interest, compound interest. Now we're going to look at credit cards and store promotions. Um, so with both of these credit cards and store promotions, you're in a case where you're borrowing money to pay something off, and if you don't pay it off each month, there's finance charges or rates of interest. Um, they're going to end up being much higher than what we were looking at before. So, for example, right now, you're lucky to get about 2% on a savings account. That's 2, maybe 4 if you got, one really good interest rate. But you could easily pay 19.5% or more on a loan or unpaid credit card balance. I've seen 28, 29, 30%, as a matter of fact. So interest rates on borrowed money is much higher than what you're going to get from money sitting in the bank. So the finance charge is the total amount of interest paid to borrow a sum of money. Okay. So if they ask you what was the finance charge, that's how much you paid over and above what you got out of the deal. So here we've got Sheng Li. He has $4,384.76 as an unpaid balance on his credit card, and the interest rate is 19.5% per annum. Okay, and they're not talking about compounding here at all, although credit cards do typically compound. Because there's nothing mentioned, we're going to assume that this is simple interest. So there's no compounding period mentioned, so we're saying this is simple interest. The payment was due March 23rd. So his minimum payment is either $50 or 10% of the outstanding balance, whichever is more. And that's important to note that they're going to charge you the greater of the two. So we need to figure out how much he needs to pay. So, well, $50, that's pretty straightforward. How much is 10% of $4,384.76? So 4384.76 times 10% out of 100. You might also choose to write that as 0.1. You can do that. You multiply it. You're just moving the decimal place over 1, so it's $438.76. The 6 is going to make it round up, so it's 48 cents. Well, this is certainly more than $50, so this is the minimum. So the minimum he must pay, is $438.48. Now question B says, if he pays the minimum, what will his balance be on April 15th? Well, if he pays the minimum, first of all, he had $4,384.76, and he's paying $438.48. So figure out what that is. So $4,384.76 minus $438.48, and that gives me $3,946.28. So $3,946.28. But his balance on April 15th is going to be more because they're charging him interest starting on March 23rd. So he needs to pay interest all the way from March 23rd to April 15th. So from March 23rd to the 31st, well, we've got to figure that out. So count it out. We got 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. That's 9 days. Be careful with this one. This is not 31 minus 23, which is only 8 days. The reason being is that they're actually starting to charge you interest on the 23rd. So you have to pay interest for the 23rd as well. And then from April 1st to the 15th, well, that's just 15 days. And that's a total number of 24 days. Okay, so we're not told that that there's any compounding, so we said that before, so that's just simple interest. So we look at that, and the interest is the principal times the rate times the term. Well, the principal is now how much money he is owing, so that's 3,946.28. The rate was up here, is 19.5%, so that's 0.195. And the term, well, it's 24 days. Remember, term is always in terms of a year. So how much is 24 days out of a year? Well, it's 24 out of 365 days. So when we multiply those across, so we have 3,946.28 times 0.195 times 24 divided by 365, we get that that's $50, and that's 0.598. 598, 8 would round it up, so it's 60, so $50.60. So he's paying $50.60 in interest over this period, so he still owes the $3,946. So the amount owing, whoops, let's try that again. The amount owing, there we go, $3,946.28 plus $50.60 is going to give you $3,996.88. So his balance on April 15th will be $3,996.88.